Welcome back out to the greenhouse, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are getting ready for winter. Kind of got some cloud cover. I look a little dark here, but I promise when we start showing everything, the video will lighten up a little bit. Today we're doing our greenhouse cleanup, getting in the process of putting these hoops up. We've got these hoops that we use for small low tunnels in our greenhouse throughout the winter, which really enables us to grow more by keeping the heat that we do produce down lower. There is an absolute ton of things to cover today. What we're mainly going to be doing is experimenting with some trench composting in the greenhouse, which I don't like compost in the greenhouse. We should be in good shape to avoid all of those pests and critters. And I've got the baby dog here that is my first layer of protection. So first things first, we are down by our stove, the hot end of the greenhouse. We cleaned out our tank, or emptied our tank. We're gonna take it all the way out, clean it out outside, get that cleaned up. We've got lots of heating experiments to build upon any heat that we do pull in. We're going to be hooking up our geothermal, as we don't like to run our geothermal tubes in the summer. They come out right here, right into our tunnels, because we tunnel this whole side here along with our little tank down on the end. So we don't want to accumulate all that moisture down in our geothermal. Just showing our beds here. So I've cleaned up a lot of stuff. We've got a lot of green stuff. We've got random volunteer tomatoes, lots of purslane, and lots of junk that I've cleaned up. So here we are down at our trench. This is where we're going to be trenching. Get out of here, baby dog. This is where we're going to be trenching in. And you can see as we dug deeper, like the top 8 inches of soil was really good, full of humus, but we haven't dug down this deep. You can see we've got like heavy clay, some gravel and rocks. So you can see the difference. This is light and brown. This is good, rich, growing soil. And we just continually keep adding to that year over year. And we've been slowly flooding out this little rooting bed or winter storage bed. So we're using our little brick there and just creating a nice little flow as it fills in around all of these plants. We've got a nice little lake or small pond here building up in the greenhouse, and that is going to just allow all of this to soak and hold all that moisture. This butterfly there, he keeps looking for stuff to land on. We've got all of our leeks, our wild leek seeds, so we harvested all those, let them dry. Now you can see that where we had chopped them off, we're getting all of the new growth. So we should have good regrowth before winter here. And I've got a ton more. And just jumping down here, these are all leeks, the perennial leeks that we save seeds from. So we'll be planting more of those perennial leeks as they survive throughout the whole winter in the greenhouse. Got a funky hairdo today. I've been soaking myself with the hose. It's pretty darn warm in the greenhouse, sitting about 72 degrees outside, but it's mighty warm in here. So I just wanted to give the rundown on everything that's going on and basically prioritizing everything we've got to do. We just washed all the walls down of the greenhouse. That's one thing I like to do. Knock down all the spider webs, clean up the walls, all the dust that accumulates. Just simply cleaning up all of the dust and debris that accumulates on the walls of your greenhouse to allow the best possible photosynthesis and light energy through the winter time, because we need every little ounce we can get of help. And I've got these blue PEX lines. That's another thing we're doing. So I always have them running on the colder side of the greenhouse, but I want to transfer them over to run inside our tunnels. If you've been on the channel for any amount of time and watched our winter videos, you will see that we have our tunnels set up. We'll put our own offcuts of poly and make ourselves a small greenhouse row on this whole 50-foot section. So what I want to do is get our PEX lines. They run on both sides. This is our compost heating line. We want to run this over to our beds, and I'm just going to run it under the walkway. That'll be a separate video, as we're still waiting on more wood chips so we can start putting together our Jean Pain compost heater for this winter. So stay tuned for that one. This pond has been the bane of my existence. I hate these sandbags. Everywhere it was exposed to sunlight, it biodegraded. Even with all of our shade cloths on here, they're just biodegrading. So I've got little pieces that I've got to deal with. Thankfully, they're all over on this side. So we're going to be expanding the pond, pulling out all the weeds around it, pulling the liner up, reusing the liner for something else, and we've got a massive liner that we can get a 1,000+ gallon pond in here as opposed to the 350, 400 that we have right now. So I kind of just keep getting on tangents here as I literally am prioritizing everything I've got to do. So this looks like crap right now, but we've got all this extra room for activities all the way up to our little workbench here for all of our brick making. Our lavender's overgrowing it, but we're going to be excavating all of this and widening our pond, raising the walls up. We're going to get rid of all the sandbags. So that is just a quick rundown on everything in the greenhouse up to now. Get out of there, baby. Well, the dog can't stay out of any mud puddle, so she's gonna tromp around through here. Anyway, I wanted to give a good idea of what I was planning and how I wanted to accomplish a nice compost bed. All of this stuff is going to break down and decompose, and we're going to lose 4 to 6 to 8 inches of that girth, that all of that organic material, as everything starts to break it down, the natural decomp process, all the earthworms, all of the little critters, bugs, bacteria, everything as it works together, this is going to sink down, and we've got ourselves a whole bunch of good soil that we've been saving. This is all potting soil that we actually composted, so it should be clean of any seeds. There might be a few stalks in there, but I set this container in the sun for about a week with a clear container over the top to really cook that soil and basically sterilize it. Anything that was gonna germinate, germinated quickly and then died off. So we have a whole, I don't know, 20-gallon container or so of soil that we're going to be working into here. There may be a few stalks and stuff, but other than that, we're in good shape with all this. We're just going to keep rolling it over. We may force a little water out of the bed, but that doesn't bother me. So just in those 10, 15, 20 minutes, I was working on this trench dig here, filling it in. All of this water that I had stolen the hose, this basically drained out. So we definitely need all of the moisture that we're putting into the ground. This will be a perfect soak in for all of our plants that we're going to seed. I'm going to clean up the soil a bit and spread it down the path here through all the beds, kind of till the beds in a little bit with a short fork. And this will put so much more humus down in the soil next season. As this is all broken down, we will be able to till it through, and we will have a lot more good organic material into this hard compacted soil we have underneath all of the layers of good soil we had on top. So I just wanted to share this process. We're going to go through and we're going to kind of push it all down and add more soil to it just to alleviate any loss of mass. So we're going to kind of pack all that in there so we can seed right into it as all that stuff is still breaking down. We have enough layers, enough inches of soil that I wanted to wash it in, let it flow over, super heavy, packed all that stuff down nice and tight, and then we throw our good rich soil back over it. We'll mix it with all the topsoil that we pulled out of here originally, and we're gonna throw seeds right in here like ASAP so we can get a good sprout going on before it starts to get real cold on us here. And I may do more trenching in the other side in the other bed, but for right now, we've got pretty good soil down on that end. This right here, we've just been adding to the top layer with compost and old potting soil. So I wanted to get a good 6-7 foot trench here that had good humus and is adding more to the soil as we use it year over year. Well, it's still a little jelly. We've got a lot of moisture in there. I flooded that bed out pretty heavy, but that's why I always dig this trench out next to my walkway. We always have like a little trench full of water, and the weeds and everything in the winter just thrive in that trench. Lots of nutrients accumulate where everything flows to. I can wash my walkway off, I can overflow beds, and this little trench will catch all the moisture and all of the extra sediment and nutrients from the soil that's getting washed out. That sun's starting to peek out now. It's getting awfully warm. It feels good because the nights have been about 50 degrees, so getting the warmth in is not a bad thing. I've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to be taking this all apart. Still using all of our seed starting area. Got to get this table down and all of these plants. We've got like 1 or 2 more farmers markets. So we've got plants inside, we've got plants outside in our shade house. Just lots going on all the time. So once again, prioritizing everything you got to do is the best thing you can do for time management. You want the most important things done first. So we've got these 2 tunnels right here, and I've got all my other tunnels. We're just going to tunnel them all the way down. If you're new to the channel, we just run big tunnels. So the next time you see this greenhouse, we should have our tunnels up, and all of this poly will be over all the tunnels. We'll be running lights into the tunnels, and all of this should be planted out, and I will bring a winter planting video to show everything we planted as it starts to sprout. Just want to give everybody a good idea of how you can survive the winter in a polytunnel. I call this a greenhouse. It is our greenhouse, but technically it's a polytunnel, yes. So this is what we've been surviving in for the last 5 to 6 years, growing every winter in here, and every winter's gotten better with all of the heating systems, all of the knowledge we're building, and all of the skills we're acquiring along the way. So if anybody has any questions, comments, ideas, concerns, drop them to me in the comment section below. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. I've got a lot of work to do.